Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Kim Barrett Show. I am your host, Kim Barrett. And on today's episode, you get me. That's right. Me here coming loud in your ears. And we're talking all things market sophistication. So if you've listened to any of our previous episodes about market awareness, someone who wants to know how can I really dig deep into my audience and make sure that I tap into their desires, their wants, needs, frustrations, and fears, and understand, exactly what's going on in their minds. This is an episode you will not want to miss. And of course, if we can help you with any of those things, head over to our free Facebook group, www.joinmygroup.com.au, where we've got you covered for everything you need and more. But until then, let's jump into the show. Now, ladies and gents, the levels of market sophistication, I think, is a hugely powerful arena for people to understand, because if you've listened to anything that I've shared about market awareness, market sophistication in the past where I've touched on it, this is a really powerful thing that's really been developed by, as I mentioned, Eugene Schwartz. I've shown you guys his book before. I've spoken about his book. Brian Kurtz is the one who published that, one of my mentors. And there's 5 really key stages that you really need to understand to be able to really elicit where your business is, why it's at that stage, or really the industry of your business, and how can you, really take things to the next level when it comes to your advertising. Because what people misunderstand when it comes to the levels of market sophistication is that you have to be in one of those, right? And there's, as I mentioned, there's 5. Now, as per the levels of awareness, which is also 5, must be his lucky number, right? There's some really early on levels that you'll probably think of, level 1, level 5. Most people's markets are kind of unlikely to be at these stages. So if you're hearing what I say and I share about these things, like, you may be there, you may not. Likelihood of those are going to be somewhere in the middle. And I'll start with the extremities, and then we'll kind of work our way back in. But level 1 is the pioneer level, which is really where it's completely new, it's innovative, it's never been heard of, it's never been offered before. I always like to use the examples of people in the fitness industry, where it's like, well, think about the first time a personal trainer came out and it's like, cool, lose weight. That was a thing when that first came out. That was the very first time someone had mentioned that. You don't have to go into many details. It's like, lose weight now. It's pretty straightforward. You just be simple, direct. It really doesn't need any depth or breadth to it. And that's why I mean, like, it's something innovative. It's like, hey, I'm Elon Musk. I'm putting people on Mars. Pretty straightforward. There's no real explanation. It's like, I take people to a different planet. Okay, sure, easy. The 5th and final level, which is, as I mentioned, I'm going the extremities, and I'll work my way back in, is the storytelling phase. It's the highest level, 5th level, where you've really got to tie into, because most people have seen it. They've gone through it. They've heard it time and time again. It's where things like cigarettes, alcohol really got towards the end of when they were able to be advertised on. You could see them on billboards, on radio and TV. Got to the point where they really had to kind of personify, and they had to delve into the people that they were talking about, the audience that they were talking about. You really had to kind of connect with people on a different level. Hence why several different brands, companies and whatnot had to do that, i.e., when the very first soap operas came out, a lot of people go, why did they call soap operas? Companies like Palmolive and all those things wanted to be able to weave in ways to be able to sell cleaning products, soap products to bored housewives. I don't blame me for saying these things. This is just what the marketing legends have told me and what they actually are. And this is really where, as I mentioned, like identification, where they would see things happening, then they'd be identified with people using certain products and like, oh, maybe I should use these products as well. So they're kind of the 2 very top ends of the spectrums. As I said, most of the time, you're probably not going to be sitting at that level. If you are, by all means, like, reach out. I'd be more than happy to kind of help you figure out how you can overcome that level and break through it. But if we go back to the level 2, which is where you're not brand new, you're not something that's completely different to everything else. But the second level of sophistication, it's like we're going to the point where there is competition, where you just have to outweigh your competition. You have to be able to beat your competition. So a lot of the times, for example, it might be like I mentioned before, like lose weight fast, lose weight in 28 days. It's really about you breaking through to your prospect, to your market, and explaining to them how you are better than the competition. So, and this is like when you're thinking about these things, I'm not saying these are the words you need to say, but this is the viewpoint you need to have in your mind. It's like, what is the experience going on for my customers? What is the experience going on? What else are they seeing from an ad perspective? That is what we're looking for you to be able to accomplish and understand and pull out from here. So level 2 is really where we're about outdoing them. We're beating them. We're trying to show that we are better than our competition. Level 3 is where we're showing customers how it works. We're really breaking down in the third level of sophistication, like the claims that are made behind your products or services, how things actually operate, how they are used. A lot of times, like when we look at things in this level of sophistication, people are already familiar with the market. They have been sold things before. It's normally where the first level of a what we call a unique mechanism, a new mechanism that they haven't heard of before, is going to be better. In fitness, it comes all the time. P90X, Beachbody, F45, right? All those things are new. Look at hair. I love giving the example of hair products because there's so many of them. You go down the hair products aisle, like shampoo, conditioner, see Palmolive Natural with ginkgo biloba and all these things, and they add on all these extra things, which are showing you how different they are, how unique they are, how much of a new mechanism they have, because they have this certain product mixed with this certain unique thing from the Himalayas, right? And everyone starts to be like, oh, okay, cool. There's this new thing I haven't heard of before. This will probably solve my problem, right? This new fat burning pill that's magically going to work because a shaman's, done a prayer over whatever it might be. This is going to work. So I haven't tried it before, so I haven't failed at it. People's minds go, okay, great. This is going to be something that hopefully will help me. That's how people start to think of these things when it comes to the perspective of the third level of sophistication, where we're really trying to hone in on what is that level of uniqueness. Then the fourth level that we have is really where competitors are locked in. It's really where there is a whole heap of tension and pressure. And this is where the mechanism that people have needs to be enlarged, needs to be enhanced, needs to be optimized and improved. So you're really looking at how can I make things easier, quicker, faster, simpler, solve more of the problem, promise extra benefits. This is where you're like embellishment. This is where you're like, I don't just put salt on the steak. I'm Salt Bay over here sprinkling. That is what you're looking for at that fourth level of sophistication of the marketplace, where people really need to understand and people really need to delve into what is the difference. Well, okay, you do something, you do it well, but what's even better? Like how can we hear even more? Because what you'll see is everyone else has those unique mechanisms. Again, like look at the fitness industry right now. There's F45s. There's all these things where everyone has their own unique mechanism to how they're going to help you achieve the workout. End of the day is picking things up and putting it down again. Pick up something heavy, put it down, right? Move it into motion. Pretty straightforward. But everyone likes to have their own way. Now you're seeing more things where they're trying to make it even amplified in 28 days or less, in 7 days or less. Don't even move. We'll electroshock your muscles so you don't even have to do anything, right? Whether or not that works, I'm not arguing that. I've heard that it works. I have some friends that have those businesses. But what they did is they made it even easier, right? You stand there. We will electrocute your muscles and make them move for you. Oh, wow. It's the same as working out. Like it's still the same outcome. Making our muscles, putting them under tension, letting them tear a little bit, and then they have to repair so that they grow, so they improve, so that they burn more fat. But everything is done and designed and developed to do that and push things forward. So for you, the listener, the viewer, wherever you're listening or watching this, you need to be able to identify what is the industry that you're in, or the subsector of your industry. Whereabouts does it sit? Whereabouts is it in the realm of all these levels of sophistication? Map them out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and choose and identify, because then you know, and you go back and listen. Like once you've done that, listen to this episode again, and you're like, oh, cool, I'm in this industry, and I'm in this level of sophistication, which means I should be talking about these things rather than all this other fluff I've been talking about. And if you do this, it's old school marketing. It's like, this is what, the greats back in the day did in direct response. But if you can do this, if you can elicit it and understand, you know how to articulate things way better than anyone else. I can guarantee you. I wanted to do this episode because I did mention it in the levels of market awareness episode. If you haven't listened to that, please do go back. And of course, if we can ever help you, if you need help with your marketing, just head over to www.joinmygroup.com.au. It'll take you straight to our Facebook group. We've got live trainings every week, heaps of free resources, everything you need to be successful when it comes to your marketing. Until next time, I'm Kim. You all have been awesome. Appreciate you tuning in. Adios, and we will see you next time.